Welcome to Marquette Now. Coming up, updating a symbol to seal.
Continuing the celebration of Black excellence.
A Marquette student helping others through passion.
And a National Marquette Day celebration.
All that and more right
From
now.
the Jeannie Hayes Virtual Studio. This is Marquette Now.
There's been an update to Marquette's mask policy.
Marquette Now's assistant news producer, TJ Dysart, is live at the Alumni Memorial Union with more information. TJ?
Thanks, Max and Sean. Masks are now optional at Marquette University indoors following a change in the Center for Disease Control and the City of Milwaukee guidelines. I'm live here tonight at the Alumni Memorial Union where just moments ago, students were walking through the halls taking advantage of the new guideline. As of today, the university has stated that students who wish to continue wearing their masks should continue doing so, as well as high-risk students and those who may have been exposed to COVID-19. As of yesterday, the campus positivity rate sits at a 1%, with 86% of students and 81% of faculty being fully vaccinated against the virus. Now, with this new guideline in place, the university has come out and said that there will still be some places on campus that will require the mask, such as the Marquette Medical Clinic. Back to you, Max and Sean.
Marquette University updates its seal to add a more inclusive perspective, reflecting its mission.
Sarah Richardson has the story.
The Marquette Seal, founded in the early 1900s, can be seen all across campus and is a symbol for the university's identity. The seal is now changing after years of criticism over its inaccurate depictions.
Updating the seal and the outcomes better reflect Marquette's mission to promote a more welcoming, equitable, and inclusive campus community.
A consideration for the University Seal Committee, which has been active since 2020, is picking out the right artist for the seal. This update has been designed by Christelle Ulrich.
One of the more important elements was making sure that we had an Indigenous artist involved in the final update of the design of the seal, and that is she's a Milwaukee-based artist from the Oneida Nation.
This isn't the first time the seal has been updated.
And we were updating our seal. We weren't changing everything. We weren't starting from scratch. We were taking the seal that we have and updating it. And the seal has been updated in the past.
According to Altenberg, it is appropriate now to make the change.
Kind of an understanding of mission is something that grows over time, what it means to live that out.
At first, the seals may appear similar. However, they are drastically different. Father Voice breaks down the three new sections.
On the left, we have 7 stripes representing 7 brothers from the maternal side of Ignatius of Loyola's family. And then on the right-hand side, what we have is the seal of the Society of Jesus. In the lower quadrant, we have 3 rivers coming together and flowing into a larger body of water. There are 3 shafts of wild rice growing out of the water. And so that was a nod particularly to the Menominee, the Potawatomi, and the Ho-Chunk tribes.
It doesn't end here for the university.
Be inspired to ask, all right, what's next? We have this iconic, honorific seal now. What's next?
I'm Sarah Richardson, Marquette Wire News.
The timeline for the installation of the new seal is to be determined. Alumni Marcus Limones is donating $15 million to the university, creating the new Limones Center for Student Success. Sarah Richardson has more.
Announced at Saturday's National Marquette Day game. The Limones Student Success Center will be the new name of the Memorial Library. The center will give students of all majors, academic abilities, and backgrounds more opportunities for success.
And we, Bobby and I, think about the individual student who comes to Milwaukee, I think the best city in America, that's my opinion, and is looking for guidance, not just when they get here, but all the way through their journey.
Inspired by the Marquette Game Changers Challenge, Lemonis is creating his own challenge, encouraging others to join the student success movement. He will match up to $5 million in donations, totaling up to $20 million from the alum.
He is looking at career personalities, the whole person, whole development, of our students. So it's not just the academics, it's the social, it's the health and well-being, it's the financial, it's all three aspects.
I'm Sarah Richardson, Marquette Wire News.
The situation in Ukraine is intensifying, with Russia overtaking Kherson, making it the first major city in Ukraine to fall since the beginning of the conflict. One political science professor provides expert insight on that situation that began last Thursday.
But it is an invasion. It is an act of military aggression against Ukraine by Russia. So it's essentially an act of war, invading Ukraine and trying to take it over. There was a sense initially that Russia might just try to move into the far eastern part where they have some pro-Russian separatists that had controlled territory. That changed very quickly, and this has now become a full attack from multiple directions. Obviously, military troops on the ground, there's airstrikes, there's missile launches, and they are heading toward, it looks like, an effort to encircle Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. I think we have reasons to be concerned. This is a significant attack, not just on Ukraine, but an attack on really the whole post-Cold War approach to security in Europe. This is a new Cold War.
The Ebony Ball is back for the first time in 2 years. TJ Dysart has the story.
It's a special night in the AMU ballroom. Not only is conversation brewing, but a sense of togetherness is also brewing at the annual Marquette University Ebony Ball.
Well, I believe, being African American at a predominantly white institution, I think it's essential that we have this space for other African American students and other Black students on campus to have a shared space to share our culture, to share our history, in this type of camaraderie.
A shared space that hasn't been seen in a while, and those who are here are taking full advantage of it.
I love everything Black. I love being around my people. I love the food. I love the music. So this is like one of the few events that I feel kind of safe here. So that's why I want to come.
Not only celebrating Black excellence and Black culture, but also celebrating one another together for the first time in person in 2 years.
We usually hold the Ebony Ball once every year to celebrate Black history, Black culture on campus. It's been around, as far as I remember, since 2015, but since COVID came about, we haven't been able to have it in the last 2 years. So we're trying to reinstate the culture and the tradition back on campus and bring back the ball with a newfound respect, newfound energy, and newfound support.
We hope that this event can bring our community closer, bring our staff closer to the students, build closer relationships with everybody involved on campus.
Building closer relationships, one step at a time. I'm TJ Dysart, Marquette Wire News.
Black History Month may be over, but that doesn't stop Marquette from recognizing Black excellence. The Center for Engagement and Inclusion is hosting a brunch that embraces the intersectionality of being a Black woman during Women's History Month. The brunch will take place March 6 at 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. in the AMU Ballroom.
Marquette's Office of Institutional Diversity and Inclusion promotes an opportunity for Black students to connect. The Commons and Thursdays in Cobean Hall, both from 12 to 1:30 p.m. Community lunches will be taking place. These lunches are meant for Black students to connect, relax, and enjoy each other's company. Students focus on mindful movement for National Eating Disorder Awareness Week.
Tori Wells-Dudka has the story.
Always celebrate National Eating Disorder Awareness Week. It's very important. In reality, about every 4 out of 10 college students ends up developing an eating disorder.
Melissa Schneider, the Eating Disorder Treatment Coordinator at the Marquette Wellness Center, chose to celebrate the Eating Disorder Awareness Week through hosting a yoga class, and you might be wondering why.
So this yoga event isn't all about eating disorders, but it's thinking about how do you manage stress, practice self-care, all of those good things so we don't pick up any habits that turn into something more.
I think yoga's great because you're working the body, but it doesn't have to be, I got to go run 5-10 miles. I just think there's so many good components to it. We actually called this event being present versus being perfect.
There's no right or wrong. Listen to your own body and what you need today, and certainly you can adjust along the way.
Marquette alum Megan Schneck made a studio out of an AMU ballroom on Wednesday night when she offered her time as a certified yoga instructor. This former Golden Eagle brought more than just her moves. She brought awareness.
They're so pervasive throughout our culture, and it's not always easy to spot or to know, even when yourself is going through something. Whatever you're going through, eating disorder, stress, anxiety, there are people here to support you.
Reach out for help. The Counseling Center is here, National Eating Disorder Association. They have so much on the web. There's free screenings a call. There's a lot of stuff out there, but I think the first step is the awareness that there's a problem.
I'm Tori Dudka, Marquette Wire News.
Exhale, melt to ground. Inhale, lift to table.
Coming up, using passion to help others.
And later, celebrating women's basketball seniors. We'll be back.
Have you ever seen somebody treated unfairly because of the color of their skin?
Do you guys know what it means to have white privilege?
What is racism and what do you think about it?
Talk to young children about what racism is, giving them the language to understand it. They can be disruptors. They can shape and shift culture.
We may not always know the answer, but we'll try and help you learn.
You don't have to have all the answers, but that doesn't mean we can't start.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
What are you looking for?
Welcome back to Marquette Now. I'm Max Pieper.
And I'm Sean Mayer. One Marquette student has a keen eye for appearance.
Marquette Now's Ava Mayers will tell us why.
Sometimes the best things are found where you least expect them.
Yeah, bro, I'm doing this till like 5 right now.
Like a fresh haircut in an unfinished basement. Zebdeel may be quite the busy bee, but the only buzzing you'll hear is of his razor.
I thought it was so cool. Everybody came in with their faded hairs, tapers, high fade, mid fade, low fade, all that. I wanted to learn all that.
For Zebdeel, the barber business is a blurred line between client and friend.
Friend vibe, it doesn't feel like I'm really getting a haircut. It's more like a home type feeling. We could talk about anything.
Zebdeel brings out the confidence in others.
After getting my cut, looking in the mirror, I couldn't feel any more confident in myself.
My confidence definitely goes up a little bit. My friends are like, "Oh, who cut your hair? This and that. It looks super nice." I'm like, "Yep, that's my boy right there."
Confidence. I want to give them confidence.
Even though he didn't always have it himself.
So I was born in Nicaragua, Matagalpa, and I came here when I was 4, and it was really hard because I did not know English. So I spent about 6 months learning the language, and it was such a struggle because all the kids had made friends, and I didn't have any friends. During my 8th grade year, my teeth were not that good. So I was more on the subtle side. I wouldn't talk very much. I wouldn't interact with other kids. And once high school hit, orthodontic changed my life, and I'm talking to everybody now. You know, look at my teeth. Like, it's great.
Zebdeel doesn't attend Marquette University to study hair. Instead, he studies teeth.
I deal with a lot of people's outer appearance, and I think that's really important. And I love seeing all my clients and my future clients walk out of here happy.
I'm Ava Mayers, Marquette Wire News.
5 bands battle it out to see who will take home the victory.
Marquette University Radio is holding a Battle of the Bands concert on March 4th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Union Sports Annex.
Each band will have about 15 minutes to perform for a panel of judges.
The winners will get to open for Marquette University Radio's spring concert headliner.
After students are finished munching down on that dining hall grub, where the dishes go is a secret. Marquette Now's Caleb Quasigro unveils this mystery.
Hundreds of students walk into the Commons dining hall after a long day of classes with only one thing on their mind. What's on the menu?
We just kind of come down here, drink coffee, talk, see what's going on, but talk about the conveyor belt. Other than that, it's kind of, we've had deep conversations about it, no doubt about it.
What is commonly overlooked is that just beyond this belt of the conveyor variety is the result of hours of hard work achieved in order to keep our cutlery in such clean.
And the plate conveyor, this controls right here.
Just on the other side of the belt, the dishroom team scrubs, soaks, and buckles down to achieve that ultimate goal of squeaky clean silverware. Judy here is recognized as a bit of a veteran in this field, as she is quite the seasoned artist here in the dish room.
So when they come out, we kind of check them to make sure they're okay, and then if they look okay, we put them up, and if they're not okay, we send them back to the person that's doing pot and pans, and then they re-sanitize them and wash them and throw them through.
Whilst the core of the dish room experience revolves around the washing of dirty platters, the true heart of the dish room comes in the form of the community employees have built over the years.
Oh, I like it. Well, I've been on staff 20 years, so it's got to, 20 years.
I would say the staff and the students, just them making us, feel like this place is home.
Even if you're doing something as seemingly insignificant as tossing dirty dishes onto a conveyor belt, remember that there are people just like you on the other side.
This one's dirty, right?
From the Marquette Wire newsroom, I'm Caleb Quasigro.
Chicken Parmesan, Schrader's most beloved meal, gets served up over the counter. But who is behind the popular dish? Someone just as appreciated. Carson Hartsfield has the story.
The Schrader Dining Hall,
Okay, how are you doing today?
where students come for food,
I'll take a piece of chicken.
but can also find a friendly face.
I'm doing all right.
For the last 25 years, Lewis has been a Schrader staple,
You can't, no, I'm gonna give you a better one than that.
serving food with a smile and sprinkling in a little life advice.
Students were telling me, they said, whoa, I got a test. And I got a test to do, and I can tell you kind of nervous. I said, don't be nervous. An older person told me this. Said, you study for the test, right? I said, yeah, I was telling the student, you study for the test. Now you done already learned it. So when the test come up, the test is only a repeat of what you've already learned. And a lot of them came and told me, you're right, that worked.
On and off the clock, Lewis is a self-proclaimed people person.
How's your day been treating you?
It's been a long day.
Oh, okay.
And it shows.
Lewis is a very positive person.
Yeah, it could be better, but it could be a lot worse.
No matter if it's the smallest thing or like the biggest thing, he's just always excited about anything that's happening with anybody.
Bingo?
Bingo.
Oh, you good. Yeah, you gotta eat you something. You don't want to be hungry at bingo, right?
To Lewis, he says it just makes him feel good to know that he can make others happy.
If I can put a smile on a person's face, that really makes me feel good. I like helping people. I always like helping people. I've always been like that. Ever since I could remember, I've always been the type. Father taught me that.
I'm Carson Hartsfield, Marquette Wire News.
Well, Max, what have you thought about the weather recently?
This week, the weather last week was pretty crazy, but this week, it's been nice with temperatures in the 50s. What do you think, Nancy?
Thanks for asking. Hi, everyone. I'm Nancy Flaherty. Let's take a look at our weather and see what's going to happen next.
We all know in the Midwest it tends to fluctuate, especially when we think it's going to be warm spring weather. It's then eventually going to end up being cold yet again. So if we take a look at our weather forecast, it's going to be 36 degrees tonight with a humidity of 65%, precipitation at 10%, and winds from the north at 10 miles per hour. Let's look into our state overnight lows. It's going to be Superior at -2 degrees, hitting the coldest on the map, Minocqua at 2 degrees, Wausau at 5 degrees, and Milwaukee staying a little bit warmer at 21 degrees. Oh, this camera's moving back and forth just like the weather is if we look into the state tomorrow highs. Superior is going to be at 22 degrees, Minocqua at 24, Eau Claire is hanging in there at 26 degrees, La Crosse at 32, and Milwaukee at 29 degrees as well. Hitting into those double digits, I think it might be warming up. Let's look at tonight. It's going to be cloudy with a low of 21 degrees, humidity at 68%, and winds from the northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow, it's going to be mostly cloudy with a high of 29 degrees, humidity at 52%, and winds from the northeast at 10 miles per hour. Might need a light wind jacket, but nothing too much, Marquette. Looking into our extended 5-day weather forecast, it's going to be pretty sunny from here on out, but we are going to get some rain on Saturday with a high of 46 and low of 39. And unfortunately, we're heading back into that cold with this fall spring weather on Monday with a high of 38 and a low of 26 degrees. That's all I have for weather tonight, but stay with us because Johnny Brooker will be back with sports right after this.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Welcome back. I'm Johnny Brooker with your Marquette Now Sports Report. Marquette's campus comes alive over the weekend celebrating National Marquette Day. It was a competitive first half with Butler holding a tight lead over Marquette. First-year guard Stevie Mitchell saves the day when he checks into the second half and propels Marquette past Butler. A posterizing slam dunk by sophomore forward Justin Lewis caps off the Golden Eagles' 64-56 win. The Golden Eagles face the DePaul Blue Demons tonight at 8 p.m. The men aren't the only team celebrating over the weekend. Marquette celebrates senior night by recognizing Laura Van Clunen, Carissa McLaughlin, and Antoinette Walker before the game against St. John's. The game starts slow with St. John's taking charge in the first quarter, but until graduate student guard Carissa McLaughlin hits her first three in the second quarter, thus the flame ignite for the Golden Eagles. Marquette leads into the break with a 42-40 lead. Thanks to free throws and strong defense down the stretch, Marquette closes its regular season with a 79-70 victory. That's it now for sports, but don't go anywhere because Marquette Now will be right back with our Down to the Wire segment.
To Sophia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back. I'm Max Pieper.
And I'm Sean Mayer. Marquette Wire Executive News Editor Megan Woolard joins us now for tonight's edition of Down to the Wire.
She's with Samira Payne to talk about her position, Marquette, and how she impacts Black students. Megan?
Thanks, Max. Samira, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
No problem. I'm happy to be here.
So for some of our audience who maybe isn't aware, you are the Director of Black Student Initiatives. Would you mind talking a little bit about what you do in your position?
Sure. So my position is brand new to the university. It started in May of 2021. So I'm really excited to be back on campus. I'm also a Marquette alum. And my role is really around impacting the Black student experience on campus. So I've been charged with looking at the agreement with Black Student Council made with the president and provost. So my position is actually the result of a lot of student activism to impact the Black student experience on our campus. And so a lot of what I do is help to check for the sustainability of a lot of the things that are in that agreement and help to promote a better climate and a better experience for Black students.
All good things, all good things.
Yeah.
So since you came back to campus in May of 2021, what are some of the things you've done so far?
Yeah, so my office is in the Office of Institutional Diversity and Inclusion. So I work with Jackie Black, who's our Director of Hispanic Initiatives, and Jacqueline Schramm, who works at Native American Affairs, as well as our VP for Inclusive Excellence. And we have a small but mighty team that is really working on improving the climate at Marquette. So we do a lot of educational programming and engagement across campus to talk about climate. But climate is obviously something that takes time to change. It's not something that kind of flips overnight. So one of my focuses has been around supporting Black students and Black student organizations that are already happening and really focusing to build Black community. So I was really excited to participate in Ebony Ball and support Black Student Council this weekend in what they were doing with Ebony Ball, but also just looking for different opportunities. I recently created a Black at Marquette Instagram site to kind of give students and faculty and staff a way to follow the work that I'm doing on campus. And also just looking for other events and programs that can happen to support students.
Well, you mentioned that climate is a long-term goal. Are there any short-term goals that you have for the rest of 2022?
Yeah, I would love to just continue this work in building community. So I mentioned, the Black at Marquette Instagram site and also some events around that. So in particular, our community lunches just started last week. So every Monday and Thursday, we're gathering from 12 to 1:30 on Mondays in the Commons, on Thursdays in Cobean, to just have a space where Black students, faculty, staff can come together, join, talk, get to know each other. So that's really my priority, is kind of creating those spaces where we can all be together and enjoy our time in the midst of trying to navigate this space and be successful at Marquette.
Is there a specific reason that the Commons are on Monday and Cobean is on Thursday, you said?
Just to kind of give access to different groups on campus. Law students are on one side of campus, dental students, undergrad students kind of go everywhere. So just kind of given different spaces, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Since your return back to campus, what's been kind of your favorite part?
Oh my gosh, it's so different. Zilber wasn't here when I was a student, so it's been really interesting to come back and my office being in a space that wasn't even here when I was a student. But I have so many positive memories from campus, and it's been really great to come back and kind of be in the same spaces and be able to do this work from a different lens. So, yeah.
Well, we are glad to have you back on campus.
Thank you.
That is all the time that we have for tonight, though.
Okay. Yeah.
So I will send it back to Max and Sean in the studio.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's a report for tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Max Pieper.
And I'm Sean Mayer. Remember to check marquettewire.org for all the latest campus news. Good night, Marquette.